meditation. Ooh, it's hard to watch through here. My girlfriend showed me about these Zen Tangle tiles. These things are really fun, really calming. Just doodle. Gets you out of your head and helps you just relax. Man, I tell you, after I'm done with one of these tiles, I usually feel like I smoked a joint or something. And for me, anything that could calm my mind like cannabis does without giving me the food cravings and the sluggish high is perfect. Well, hello, and welcome back to this shared space on YouTube. So, in this video, I'm gonna have like a little walk in the woods, or in the woods, in the desert, in the mountains. A short talk at a cave that I like to go to. And then a tarot reading, but they're not gonna go in that order. So I'll timestamp down below. The walk up to the cave, I didn't video the whole entire walk up there. Just the last few minutes of it, maybe 10 minutes. So I'll put that at the end. Because I was really disappointed when I got to this miners camp that I used to go to. Somebody tore down all the cool features about it. The wood burning stove, the enclosure walls. But hey, you know, things happen. So I'll have that at the end, walking up to it, and a description and look around the cave. This is obviously the intro. And then I will have the short talk, which is about 25 minutes long, and then your tarot reading. So if you want to stick around for the whole video, that's cool. But my intent is not to absorb all of your time. But if you do, my intention of this video is to help you kind of just, if it calls to you, take on some of the things that I talk about, you know. So, without further ado, I'm going to end this and start your tarot reading, and then edit it all together, CapCut it, and I will have timestamps with the description, either in the description or in the comments, whichever comes first or whichever I remember. So, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time here. My message is not to bombard you with how to do shamanic practices. Just give you an insight on some things that were helpful to me and that helped me. And you'll see more in the talk about what happens when I don't stick with my practices. So stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm glad you're here. Appreciate your time. So this is me. This is what I like to do. I spend a lot of time coming out here, different places all over the Las Vegas area, Mount Charleston, Tule Springs Fossil Bed, Red Rock, here in Henderson, all over Lake Mead area, our natural environment. It's comforting. I like coming out in the desert alone or in the mountains alone. I like that silence. Don't get me wrong, I love interacting with people. I love my family, my friends. I love doing things in the city. But my health has been fading. It's not healthy for me to always stay in the city. You know, when I don't believe I'm being used for content, I have a good time with my friends, you know. Not everybody fucking tries to use each other for content. But, you know, dwelling with things in the city means getting frustrated and aggravated, right? There's so much going on all the time. You know, we got bills and try to keep the focus away from other people and just real life shit, you know. We got bills, we got groceries, we got doctors, we got things we got to do all the time. We got chores, we got laundry, we got dishes, we got cooking, we got shopping. We got God, I gotta wash my car. I haven't washed my car in a minute. I haven't even driven it through a car wash. I know when I'm too busy in the city because I drive my car through a car wash. Man, without these little hikes, I've gained a lot of weight. I can feel it walking in here. And this is only really short distance. I think this is no more than 2 miles. And there's not much incline. So it's a nice, easy walk. But I gotta start doing this again. It was my pain management. And you know, it's like a mental health routine too. When I'm out here and I hear planes like that go over, I like to think of like flying deeper into the subconscious mind. It's like taking a journey. You know, what if I were to tell you that all the healing modalities and shamanic practices just boil down to things like this? In every holistic practice, what everything boils down to is meditation, right? And meditation is just however you feel to get out of the thinking mind, right? And sometimes we're energetic people. We use words like empath and channeled psychic medium or psychic or telepaths or whatever. But what it boils down to is we're energetic beings. to sum that up pretty quick, I can tell you that I'm grateful for my father growing up, taking me out places like this, learning to be aware when we were looking for, like we used to go rattlesnake hunting or deer tracking. Feel the land, right? Feel the land. So from a young age, I kind of grew up feeling my way through life and not knowing how to describe that. This is where it made sense, like out here. And you got to watch out for, things. We're noisy beings when we walk through the deserts. We're clumsy compared to animals, So let's say a big old mountain lion or puma or something was hungry, right? And they're pretty fucking tough. They're mean. And our clumsy ass is walking out here. You gotta remember to stop every now and then and feel where you're at. Feel sensations of life around you. But being so, when I'm surrounded by too much, I feel so much of how can you say it? Like the energy of a taser or a D-volt battery. You ever put a D-volt battery on your tongue and that jolt you get, that that's what I feel in really large crowded areas. So I like to come out here, and it's been a minute, I've been with, it's not like I have avoided nature. I've went on a couple of nature walks of my own. I've went with some people. Me and my girlfriend like to look for rocks and crystals and stuff. But to come out by yourself is so fucking relaxing. It's good for your health, mental, emotional, physical. What if I were to tell you that's the only thing anyone's really needing is to find time away from the stresses of life? I like these little rocky hills over here because cell phone service does not work. So my phone can't go off. Just ground, chill out, relax. Visualize yourself as a coyote or a lizard or a fucking old Indian native. I know the word Indian isn't proper. My dad's Native American, Choctaw. I'm Hispanic, Welsh, German, French, Dutch. Fucking all kinds of different things in my blood. Imagine you're a miner out here, just relaxing. That's the medicine, man. That's the detox from when life is just pressuring you down too much. Detach, listen to the wind. Let's listen to the wind for a minute. That's a plane. For me, it's like the off button. Press pause for this day, for this moment, for this time being right here. I don't have to be somewhere at a certain time. I don't have a regular scheduled program for a life. I don't have nothing to solve, nothing to cure, nothing to find a solution to. For this moment right here, right now, I don't have to balance my budget, call doctors, schedule appointments. It helps me appreciate just being in my own energy, my own body. I thought it'd be really cool to come out here and just clip a little short video of coming to this place and grounding. It's where I've learned to release all the pressures of life. You know, the hurt for my people, kids, family, friends, neighbors, love. All the pressures and stresses that I see are pushed and forced onto them. It bothers me too. And this is my way to come and detox it, give it to the earth, let the airplanes take it away to spirit, and pray for them, you know. At a core, all anybody wants is to be loved and appreciated, connected with friends, have somebody that they can open up to, share life experiences with. Laugh is big for me. I love to laugh. Being an energetic person really is no like magical feat like we talk about online and stuff, you know. It's just it's been natural for me because of fishing and hiking and hunting and rattlesnakes hunting and lizard hunting and rock finding. And you know, I was grateful to have someone to always show me the beauty of nature. I remember when I used to work, oh my God, medicine for me was going fishing on the weekend. Getting out and hearing that water lap against the boat or the shore. Sitting by a fire. Letting all the bullshit from work go. You ever notice that at work? It's like a collection space for people to share their anger and frustration. And something to bitch about, right? And then, you know, what if someone's just there to work and enjoy the paycheck and feel good about earning that money and paying their bills and supporting their family and selves, like, and you know, so for me, it was always to the outdoors on the weekend. And when I didn't, you know, stress would build up. You go out partying and then get fucking inebriated, and then the next day you don't feel so good, so you stay in bed all day because you got that fucking hangover, and everybody's, oh, why aren't you up? Why aren't you up? It's Sunday, it's a Saturday, it's a beautiful day. Like, fuck, because I'm hungover, man. Fucking, ugh. I was out drinking and dancing and partying, and that wasn't really a break, was it? That was just a different kind of work that we call fun, even though it really stresses the body out. So yeah, I'm grateful for places like this, you know. Got to start doing it more. I've had some really good fun the past year or so. Made some really good connections. Made some really good friends. Had some interesting stories. But the further and further I put myself away from taking walks in nature, the more my body started hurting, the more I started just going stir crazy with so many thoughts. So many different versions. One thing, I don't like to judge people. Because, fuck, it's not easy to stay balanced in the world. Television and too much information. Fucking too much sensory overload has really put us all in a time of what the fuck, right? Even if you say that you're not living in what the fuck, you gotta admit there is what the fuck, right? There is what the fuck. You're like, whoa, what the fuck? All you can do is find the peace where you can and enjoy the things that wind. Listen. I don't know how it's gonna sound to you, but my God, it is so mesmerizing. So I'm gonna end this here, and I'm gonna meditate here for a little bit, ground, just connect to this spot, and then I'll put a small tarot reading on the tail end of this. Not like this is, you know, it's nothing special, no, but it is. Off of the pinball machine for a while, right? Do you ever feel like your mind is turned into a pinball machine? From the time you wake up things you choose to interact with. Remember, you choose to interact with them. It's always a choice. To your responsibilities. It's like waking up to a computer rebooting. Oh, okay, get up, make coffee. Time for this. Schedule this. What? Time for this. Take a shower. Pinball machine. It's the intellect. It's really good for a lot of things. Fuck, we couldn't make it in life without the intellect. But I hope you enjoyed this little time here, grounding at one of my little sacred spaces. This one isn't too far. So if you're like seriously looking for a, what is it? Where is the medicine? A word of advice for all the theological shit that we look for, right? All the metaphysical, holistic healing practices, modalities, and shamanic terms, and meanings and definitions, and yada, 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 yada. Remember, these are the things that help us carve out time and space. And every single philosophy or belief or religion or practice stems from meditation, whether that's prayer is meditation. Breath work is meditation. It's really just finding a way to get out of your fucking head. That's the medicine. There's nothing more than that I could sell you or preach to you or anything else. Just learn to get out of your head. I find when I get out of my head, my tarot readings are better. I like to look into astrology because it's interesting to me. I think it's cool. It's fun. I look into the planets and where they are, and the alignments, and the degrees, and the kshatras, and the mythologies, and that's fun, but it's an intellect. It's an ego mind intellect, but it's amusing and calming and entertaining for my mind, so it makes my mind feel peaceful. But the medicine is getting my ass out here and grounding. There's no one around. I don't have to carry on a conversation, right? Which I don't mind communicating with people. I think that's the joy of life, is connecting and communicating. But for me, getting out of my head is finding the off button. And just sitting here for a while, getting the fuck out of my head, looking at the rocks and the plants and the trees and hearing the wind, and ground it all out. And I will be back with your tarot reading. So we're going to start off with some shamanic oracle cards. And Viking oracle to tap into ancestry. Fritgird, a neutral place. Why don't we just start there? I love this card. Fritgird in the Nordic Viking oracle. The Viking oracle is a place of peace, protection, loyalty. Protection for those in your community. It's a peaceful environment that supports all. It's like a place where there are no enemies. Even if enemies go there, there is no conflict in Friðgirð. This is like a sanctuary in nature, a sanctuary in nature. Also, frith, they used to call marriage frith, weaving, right? It's like the weaving together of two families to create one family, right? And its message is, your peace starts within. And it's time for you to seek an understanding to a difficulty you may have. Friðgirð. A great card to start off with. So this message, if you've followed along and you didn't just come here on the timestamp, this is what I find walking alone in nature, like a place of sanctuary and peace, helps me ground, find peace within. And you know what happens when I make the time to ground and go out in nature and do my shamanic thing? The underlying thing of all stresses I see in life aren't so much the people or conflicts with people. That's not real. These are the reactions of life, right? Everybody wants a little peace in their life. They want a nice place to lay their head down at night. They want cupboards full. They want love and connection. And as minimal hardships to achieve that as possible. But what happens? Life is life, man. If it was fun to earn money, they wouldn't call it work, right? Then earning money comes with ego standards sometimes, and this isn't a judgment statement, but typically, I'm not talking about for everyone who's broken free of the matrix and money falls out of the fucking sky like raindrops. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about 9-to-5ers, people who have limited income and still choose to live a good, happy life, right? Well, earning money usually comes with all these things that we put ourselves through. For me, when my plumbing career, I had to find time out. Even today, in my life, I have to find time out to find that balance, to remember there is not really any conflict in our lives. We're conflicted within because we want to live a comfortable life, as comfortable as possible. So Friðgirð, find some peace. Remember, your peace comes from within, right? You can't pay me and I hand you this bag and tell you it's peace. That's bullshit. You have to find the peace within you and fill your own bag. There are cool things that others can help you with, but you gotta start somewhere. So for me, walking in nature, peace, Friðgirð. Let's see what the shamanic message from this peaceful place is. The beauty way. The message of this card is to allow your mind, your heart, your comings and goings, feelings, your hobbies and passions, your interests to unfold like a lotus in grace and beauty. Like, have a little love in how you unfold. This goes to everything. Unfold to those. Okay. Unfold to your people gracefully, right? And it limits conflict, right? If you come charging out the gates like a raging bull to unfold like an onion, well, chances are people may run unless they really get you, even those people who really get you. Let it out, vent, purge. It's fucking normal. It's not toxic. And then allow the beauty to unfold, right? Ask them if they have time to sit with your energy, and good people will. Your people will sit with you when you're dealing with shit, because they have to. Everyone has. There's not a person alive that is not dealt with stress. Sweat Lodge is 111 out today, and it's still early outside. But if you start early, right, you can acclimate to it. Sweat is very good. It's very cleansing for your body. It pushes excess salts out. It digests high blood sugars within the body. It metabolizes your food. It pumps the blood, feeding your muscles better. Well, that's more walking. But anyway, sweat is very good. It's Mars energy. Sweat Lodge is about, sure, you can go build a sweat lodge, that's one way to do it. All ways are good. You can also steam up your bathroom by running the shower with the door closed. And even putting remember them Vicks vaporizers in your bathroom, and just pumping that, turning the hot shower as hot as it can go, and sit in the steam, allow the sweat to cleanse, purge things from your body, right? Sweat Lodge is really good because you'll find that with a little bit of sweat, even if it's from like activity, a brisk hike into nature, or a sweat lodge, as you release steam or sweat, something happens to your body. It cleanses and it feels better. I'm going to take my time during this reading, knowing that if it's helpful for you, you'll watch. But I'm not going to rush through anything for anyone's convenience. So we've got this circle. Circle is a good thing. There is no head at the circle. It's a round table, and look at the integrated colors of the hands, right? This represents unity amongst tribesmen, amongst people. When we sit at a drum circle, and when we get into a flow, meaning when nobody's interrupting your drum, you lock into this unity. You're in a harmony with the beat. You're flowing, matching into that beat. And sometimes you transcend the body. And usually when I transcend, that's usually when I fuck up the beat and I notice I'm out of tune, and boom, I'm back, and I'm like, oh. But it's a circle is a way to remember to not place anyone at the head of your own table, right? And to also remind yourself to not place yourself at the head of any table. And when possible, find those times to unify, right? Unify means listen to others' understandings of life, right? Or their funny stories, or what they're going through. Connection, circle is a time where we come together, sitting around the fire, metaphorically and or physically or literally, and we open ourselves up to other people to be one. Okay, now let's see. I'll pull a card and then we'll pull the definition. Oh, smoky mirror and the Andean cross. I like smoky mirror, and I have my own version of it, but I'm going to read it for you. 47. The essence. Smoking mirror represents the aspects of what is implied yet cannot be immediately known in the world. The mystery of how things come together and how they fall apart without obvious casualties. This symbol also represents the shadow of the human psyche, the parts of the self that one disowns. The smoky mirror can also represent a state of denial, or the inability or refusal to see the truth. That's what the essence of the smoky mirror means. We have to integrate those shadows of ourselves. It's not fair to yourself, those you love, those you work with, or those you care to spend time with, to bypass the shadow aspects of oneself. Integrate them for yourself so that they do not make you feel. When we bypass our shadows, what happens is we feel a fear that someone will see them. Because if you bypass or ignore anything, it just grows bigger, right? So integrating the shadow is, accepting that fucking shadow of yourself. When you accept that shadow of yourself, it really doesn't matter, right? So don't deny looking in the smoky mirror at the things that you try to avoid facing. Here's the invitation. When the symbol of the smoky mirror appears, you're invited to see beyond your own self. Acknowledge that. Past the limitations of your current ability to perceive, there is a vast interconnected world where events are orchestrated in divine order. This is true. Wait, let me stop so I don't. Orchestrated in divine order, but challenging to fully grasp. This is what I like about astrology and the moon phases and some other cool fucking things too. But when you lock into it, you do see that there's a divine order. Now, when I go further into it, like, let's say the mysteries of the Fibonacci sequence. Now, I'm no scientist, so I can't claim to be, but I see the Fibonacci sequence. I've studied things of science, and it's pretty fucking interesting. Everything in the universe is on the same orchestration of a cycle, right? And so is our planet and our moon and our solar system and our stars and the pine cones and the flowers, the beauty way, how they unfold, right? The way that animals and life creates, and embryos and streams and rivers and all things are in this divine orchestration. So it's really cool for me to trip out on astrology and see the synchronicities, the connection, the mirror from the stars to our earth, and the mentalities and the behaviors to even those who are unaware of anything astrological, right? They still, on a more sadder note of that, I noticed that a lot of the mentally disturbed that you usually catch walking around talking to themselves or outburst or yelling specific things, they're usually in their own way metaphorically speaking about what's energetically going on in the stars and the planets in the sky. Same thing with physicists, and they're really, now mind you, I'm not a fucking physicist, but their concepts are fascinating when compared with astrology, mythology, and nature and earth. And it's when you put it all together, the divine orchestration is apparent. So you're being invited to take a look at this, even though it's hard to fully grasp. We're not supposed to fully grasp it. That's the beauty of it. It keeps us in perpetual awe, the Fool card, the wonder of the beginner's mind. It's amazing. There will never be an answer, just observations. Now is the time to trust that no matter what the current conditions of your world reflect, in the hidden realms, all aspects of the human journey are celebrated. The beauty and the darkness, the misery and the courage. No matter where you are on your journey, know that some things are meant to be a mystery, which you are meant to understand only through experience. That's it. Take heart, for the smoky mirror will ultimately show you beauty and wonder once the fog lifts the distortion you see now. I mean, that's what this whole video's intention is supposed to be. On social media, right? I only watch TikTok now because Facebook is too much sensory overload for me. So it's not like people are bad. It's too much sensory overload for me. I never understood myself as like a neurodivergent type of person until a few friends that are diagnosed autistic spectrums, neurodivergence, etc. started helping me look into it. So now I kind of get a further understanding of why things like Facebook are sensory overloads to me, right? And they're meant to do that. They're meant to do that. But we see so much about like avoiding the darker sides of life, right? Sorry, that's not fucking reality. It's life. Embrace it all and see the beauty of it. Once you embrace it all, the fog lifts, right? And you see it all as a part of the play. Stars would not shine in our galaxy if the universe was not dark and void. There'd be no brightness to see. The medicine of this card. Understanding the shadow of the human journey requires that you go deep into your story to discover the wound that prevents you from seeing the truth of your current situation. Your fears and expectations of disappointment and unworthiness may be clouding your capacity to see the potential in yourself and others. The smoky mirror may be showing you things you don't want as a result of your conditioning. These can become even more real, but only because you are making it so. The choice is yours. The world will hold you accountable for what you see and create. Can you see through the eyes of truth and faith instead? So if you just came here on the timestamp, in the short talk in the cave, I talk about this. We choose the interactions, that even the ones that bother us. It's a choice. So, and it's interesting how, like, you know, this is coming on the week of Gamagan, right? The shadow of getting to the source of things, the root of things, so that you can grow, bloom, that divine light within, right? The divine orchestration. You're a part of it. We're all a part of it. And the Andean cross. 1, 4, 3, 2. The Andean cross, the essence. The Andean cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions, the upper and lower worlds, and the steps to reach these realms. The hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel. The proverbial eye of the needle we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom, and to break free of linear time. The invitation of the Andean cross. The Andean cross announces the start to a journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day-to-day to that which, until now, has seemed beyond your grasp, the divine orchestra. Allow new wisdom to guide you, and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. What would we say? Don't try to make sense of it, just experience it. The medicine of this card says, the time has passed and the window of opportunity has closed. Now is the moment to take that leap you have been over-preparing for. It is best to wait until conditions in heaven line up again to offer you a more propitious moment. Any bold action you take now will require tremendous effort on your part. Have you been getting a lot in your readings of just kick back right now? It's not time to jump and take action. This card should be another sign. Take it easy. Another opportunity will line up. If you try to take actions now, it's going to take a lot of effort and will burn you out. So just as important as knowing when to act is knowing when to return to your inner stillness and wait for more favorable times. What a great message, right? Friedgerd, find some peace in your life. Smoky mirror, integrate your shadows and see beyond it. Once you're attuned to your own shadows, things you deny about yourself, or things you don't want to, or whatever, right? Things social media tells you to fucking is toxic, right? Look at them, integrate them. It's not that bad. You're a human being. Accept yourself, acceptance. Accept the child, the fool, the villain, the God within, the love of that God within, and the love of that God without. The wounded, the healer, the guide, the lost, the loved, the hated. Healed person is accepting all of that and not denying any of it. All right. I think I'll call this video the Shamanic Experience, or a Shamanic Experience. I don't know. To me, shamanic ways are more about not practice and not taking on so much of the world's troubles on really tuning out in places in nature where cars can't screech in the background, your phone can't go off, the news isn't bothering you, just downtime, right? And then from that place, you come back as a integrated being, something that has released the pressure of the societal norms, taken time away from the clock and the schedules and the deadlines and the and just coming back as you, with that divine orchestra within you. Oh. There we go. We've got conch shell. There's a calling. You're being called. What are you being called to? Healing and true devotion. Before I read the card, true devotion to me gets distorted when someone gives you a noun to devote to. But when you can truly devote to spirit, this divine orchestra that is fucking unexplainable, unnameable, there's a fucking profound healing that comes within, and there's no way to buy it, sell it, trade it, copy it. It's only experienced. So you're about to be called to a very deep healing that's going to help you find a devotion to something that is not confusing for you, right? So for instance, let's say you love Jesus, right? And then somebody comes and tells you that Jesus is not the way, Buddha is the way. And then you're like, well, I had experiences with Jesus. Well, they had experiences with Buddha. And then somebody comes along and tells both of you, fucking Odin's the way. And then there's a controversy. Well, who's the way? Fucking all of them. To these persons, to each individual. So we shouldn't fight over things. Healing comes with true devotion to what the fuck ever. It feels good. A mountain, a rock, a bird, a coyote, a bush, a plant, the sky, the clouds, a feeling. A time out from the circus of the world and an inner look of the peaceful universe in your mind, right? A realization, an epiphany, devotion. Not trying to bottle it up, right? Just allow it to be that moment. Maybe you're gonna have many different teachers. Like as a shamanic path, I have met so many spiritual teachers, and not all of them have names. As a matter of fact, none of them gave me a name. I gave them names afterwards, after doing research of like, who did I just encounter, right? But being fluid to just in that divine orchestra of all things are spirit. Even the things you don't believe are good, or things that are this versus that, are only a perception. On one side, one could believe they're the light, and another the dark, but on that roles reverse. That side believes they're the light and the other the dark. So that is the controversy, right? a devotion is saying, so what, light or dark, it's all fucking spirit. It's all a part of this. The conch is sending you a wake-up call. Your life is too busy. Oh man, can I relate? And my life isn't even really that busy, but it is. It's overwhelming. Connect to silence. Reveal your true nature. Trust your intuition. Your life's purpose is priority. Blast away whatever blocks time to discover your destiny. Remember, your destiny could be just to be at fucking peace. Because what happens when you're at Fritkirth within? Well, you're experiencing a much more positive reality. So then, guess what? You naturally align to your destiny. It all starts by tuning out the too much information. Take time to understand your sensitivity to the energy that is accompanied by the divine spirit. If you just came in on the timestamp, the talk I had in the cave was talking about the sensitivity to feeling animals and nature when you're out there. How growing up, my father kind of taught me how to feel your way through nature and looking for rattlesnakes, lizards, animals, feeling if you feel in danger of the energy of a predator animal or things like that. Sensitivity to energy makes living in a very busy, very noisy, very intellectual, very egoic society very hard to do. But it doesn't mean that it's the negative in life. It means you must find a balance. Like me, I put off going out into nature for a while because I've been having a good time in the busyness of the life, but then it hit me, and then boom. So it's going back, finding that balance. There's never no negative, right? So anyways, your sensitivity to the energy that is accompanied by the divine spirit. Find a balance. If you can feel the energy of things in your reality, then if you tap out and go somewhere where there's nothing interrupting your energy, you can feel the sensitivity of the divine spirit. You will feel it, trust me. You just have to block the things that are keeping you busy and distracted. Listen to your inner wisdom. Divine Spirit will help you discover your true place and purpose here. And once you discover this, your job is to listen to that inner wisdom. It comes from within. Make your own calling your priority. Do not get critical thinking, or do not let critical thinking or critical people divert you from your calling. They do not serve your purpose. So in that, critical thinking is how you attract critical people, right? So if I don't find much criticism in my practices, but I don't criticize other people's practices either. And when I do find a critical person, chances are within a very short conversation, there is no more critical thinking. But if you are having difficulties letting critical thinking and critical people divert you from what your soul true calls for, then yes, the conch is calling you to wake up and get out of this busy lifestyle Learn to connect to silence. I'm not judging. For me, sensory overload. Turn the phone off sometimes. Don't wake up to what's going on social media or the news or YouTube or any chance I can find silence, I can find peace. And when I find peace, it heals within. So this is the shamanic messages that are coming to you through this video today. And mind you, I'm not fucking telling you that this is the only way to do it. This is a metaphor to unfold in your mind like a lotus in ways you can integrate, finding this peace, integration of your own shadow, seeing all things in reality as a part of spirit. However that works for you is what works for you, and don't let anyone, me included, tell you that it doesn't. Tarot says, 7 of Wands, it's time to take a stand and find balance and healing in your life. Spirit's working. I love this card. It's like paradoxes. Nothing has to make sense for it to be true. But also, that just comes with the faith of knowing that behind the scenes of the 3D reality, Spirit is filtering things for clarity for you always, based on your ever unfolding mind. Spirit reality filters. That's the mixing of the cups, the alchemizing of life. You have divine energy surrounding you, constantly trying to help you make a more balanced life, right? This could come in signs, synchronicities, epiphanies, sensations, feelings, other people, strangers walking by, speaking of things that were on your mind, celestial events, all of it is the divine spirit. The divine spirit even shows you darkness so that you can understand things, right? So that tells you that the divine is not biased, it is all. And when you can integrate that into your own life, you won't have to be defending yourself so much, right? You can be at fritkirta. And then you can watch things grow. Take some time out, see what's working for you in your life, appreciate that things are blooming, right? Because once you step away from the chaos, you'll see that there is more going for you than there is against you. Take time to get to places that help you calm your mind. Wow! And don't forget to dream. Dream, meditate, tap out, imagine. You'll get an understanding of the invisible divine when you dream or sleep or meditate. Change your world, baby. All right, now that's it. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I just saw that I got a new subscriber as I was making this video. I appreciate your time here. It's something I like to share. It's fun. It's interesting to share, even to like the reflections of life through here. So I appreciate your time here and your listening, and hopefully you watched the whole video. It's pretty cool. I like going out in nature, getting away from it all for a minute. Exercise, sweat lodge, burning, yearning. It's pain relieving. I have some bone pain things that constantly bother me. The only thing that really helps is walking. So thank you for tuning in, listening to my story, and hopefully this helps you unfold the peace in your life and integration. Remember, our signs today have said this isn't the time to really act right now. It's the time to just pull back, tap into calmness. Don't waste extra effort in this moment right now. The divine will show you when the next opportunity And if you take the time to allow this pause from action, you will have the energy when the divine brings the other opportunity. Chances are you missed your opportunity because you were too exhausted the last time Spirit told you to rest. So that's how the universe works. Oh, wow. Somebody tore the walls down in the stove or the oven. That's too bad. Oh my God, the chimney. This is all once a wall. Those are all the rocks. Kind of depressing. Oh, look. Some deer must have been resting in here. Deer or... no, those look like deer. Or bighorn, whichever. There's a lot of bighorn around here. I haven't been to it yet, but my brother told me of a small pond not too far from here where all the bighorn gather and drink. Well, this is kind of sad to see this in this shape. It was an old prospect mining camp. And all these rocks that you see here were stacked very neatly from here to right there where all them clothes start. And this used to be the entryway. And then again from here all the way up here. And on the outside was a little like a wood burning stove area. And here was another fire pit, as you can see. In a second, when I catch my breath. Wow, I don't even see the small little water pits that were walled up over here. The washing area, like I could only assume was a washing area. What is that? Is that an owl? Or a rock? Nope. Just a rock in a cairn. Oh wait! I can't zoom in any further. Well, it looks like some kind of bird. Yeah, I suppose it is. Let's see with my glasses. Oh no, it's a rock. A rock that looks like a bird. Bird rock. Zoom out. Zoom out. Let's follow this bighorn trail or deer trail or goat trail, whatever this trail is. Nope, it's a rock. It's a rock that from here looks like a big hawk or an eagle that hasn't gotten its white yet. Young eagle. Anyway, this is my first nature walk in quite a while. It's not that far in, but just far enough for me to work up a sweat. I mean, I've been on little nature walks, but I've been really busy with people matters. It's one of my favorite little caves I come to. Meditate, ground. It's away from everything, you know? I know people use this place as shelter sometimes, but really saddens me to see it in shambles. All this area was smoothed out, smoothed out like sand, gravel, all the way to right here. There used to be a little pile where somebody made a fire too. But it's just kind of sad. The miners used to come out here and mine everything from lead, silver, magnesium, copper. And they would find little areas like this, and this was obvious. I mean, if you see it now, you can't tell, but when I did research, when I first found this place, I learned that they would stack rocks. The miners out here would stack rocks in caves like this to create wind barriers and protection when they're sleeping. No, don't look like a mining cave, but the interesting thing about that is on rock like this, they would start fires. Like they would start a small little prospect mine, and then they would pack it with wood enough to where there was some inches between the fire and the roof. And as the fire would get hot, the rock would fall down, and they just kept doing that over and over and over. And the reason why this would stop at, not go in so deep, is because there was no mineral tracing or signs of the metals or gems they were looking for. So in a cave like this, they would just make it a shelter. And they would put up wind barriers. This one was really neat with the wood burning stove that was on the outside that is now destroyed. It was right over here. It was pretty neat. They built it up. You can see where they put the fire in it. And you can see where they would put probably a grill or something over the top hole. Had a little smokestack that came up here. All that's torn down now. But still an interesting place. Nice and quiet here. I don't know how to turn the camera around, so I'm going to restart this and cut it together.